Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Blues, 1975.
This is Gauntlet on the ZX Spectrum, released by US Gold, but developed by Gremlin Graphics in 1986 and based on the arcade machine of the same name, released by Atari in 1985. There was no way I was going to revisit what I generally consider to be the best arcade ports on the Spectrum without revisiting Gauntlet. I've obviously played this quite a few times on this channel in comparisons and stuff like that, and across all the versions that are available, and the most recent time I played this would have been I played the Deeper Dungeons, which was an expansion pack released by US Gold where you had to have the original Gauntlet game and you had a whole additional bunch of levels. Then obviously Gauntlet 2 came out. Will I be playing Gauntlet 2 in this series of games that you have to play on ZX Spectrum, as I consider them to be the best arcade machines of all time ported to it? Spoilers, probably. Now, this was released on all the usual suspects, but I'm talking about, you know, the micros here. So, released by US Gold, so Amiga, Atari ST, Spectrum, Amstrad and Commodore, and they are all very, very, very good ports. But this, considering what it was running on, is an absolutely fantastic port, and it got great reviews back in the day. So anyway, you all know what Gauntlet is, released by Atari. It's a 1 to 4 player simultaneous dungeon crawler dependent upon the cabinet that you are playing. I played it in Minehead. I've said this before, but I had such nostalgia for it because of this. It was right by the door and you could hear it as you walk down Minehead High Street. That's a mouthful. Yeah, you could just hear it. It was next to Punch Out, so actually you could hear both of them. And yeah, suckered us all in as kids. Our parents obviously could see through the crap of it and didn't like us playing it because obviously not so much a skill-based game. I mean, you obviously will do better sometimes than other times than other players as well, but essentially your health is just a timer. Excuse me. And you will run out and you will have to keep pumping in money, which is genius for the people who own the arcade, but not so much for Ickle Dave and his brother's parents. Anyway, let's get into this. So where this is brilliant is it genuinely captures, my brother Jason had this, he got it for Christmas that year. I think this was US Gold's US Gold's Christmas release, and he had it, and yeah, and we used to play it loads and loads and loads, and we would have had a 48k then, which means it would have sucked because you have to load in chunks of levels. Not sure which version this is because it's on a fast stick, and it's on a memory stick, and I'm playing it on my Retro Games the Spectrum. Anyway, Gauntlet US Gold. On the following screens, use the cursor keys. This is going to be a bit awkward because where are they? They're not dedicated keys, are they, on the 48k? Yeah, they're number keys at the top, right? Yeah, so use the cursor keys to move the pointer and then press space to select your choice. Pause, P, except in treasure rooms. Yeah, treasure rooms are bonus rooms and you have a timer counting down for which you will, not like your health, that still goes down, but the timer is if you don't get out before the timer hits 0, then all the treasure that you've collected it will disappear. It means fuck all. So up, down changes letter, left to right moves cursors, magic buttons, set name, press space to continue. Right, so you have your choice of 4 characters. You have Thor, warrior, whose strength is high but speed is low. You have Quester, elf, who apparently his right hand is 4 times the size of his left hand than his head. He was like the go-to character for me and my brothers back in the day, but yeah, he's like super quick but not super strong. And Thyra is a bit balanced, isn't she? And then Merlin is basically, his magic is super powerful. So we want to go with space, 1 player, and then choose player. So we have to use cursor keys. There we go. We're going to go excuse me, with elf. So sorry, space, There we go. Now, the keys in the bottom, left and right, are predefined, and you're thinking they're horrible keys because you can't define them for single player, but I think it's essentially forcing you to play 2-player, which is the best way to play this. And, surprisingly, even on a small rubber mat keyboard, they work really well, and it allows you to keep your hands, you know, both players to either side of the keyboard, so you don't, you know, don't get in each other's way. So I'm going to have 1 up, Q down, left, S, D, right. You could have had, well no, I don't, yeah, we're going to say you could have had it A left, but no, a little bit of spaces is good. Z, fire, magic is cap, so boom, that's my thumb in the bottom left, so yeah, that works, but I have to select it, don't I? So keyboard, there we go, and then what, space, or enter, space, and then that person can be whatever they want, because I'm not going to be playing with player 2 because I'm Billy No Mates. There we go. Right, so yeah, now all your information in the arcade was down the right hand side. It's at the bottom of the screen here, and again, obviously massive concessions have been made for this version, but where it's great is it really does feel like you're playing the arcade. So there we go, level 1. So there are many ways to leave a level. There are level exits which aren't marked, and if they're not marked, they will only take you 1 level on at a time. That's treasure. See, it is a little bit animated. Look how he fires. The closer you are to stuff, the quicker you fire. So yeah, as you can see, score 100 health. Pissing down. Each of the enemies is a perfect, albeit, you know, limited in colour, representation of the arcade. Now you can see my key has appeared there. You can't go through doors unless you got keys. Much like real life. Sounds incredibly limited. I'm wondering if this is the 48K version. Either way, I think it's a hat ROM. Yoink! This is what I mean about it. It's an absolute 10p and or quarter gobbler, if you will. Don't shoot your health. Iconic if you shot the health in the arcade, because it would say, dependent upon the character you are, warriors shot the health. That's not going to happen. Look at that. But look, they follow you. Now the other thing you got to remember about this is, as crude as you think this looks, I kind of prefer the fact that they went with colour and not monochrome. If they went with monochrome, then they could have given background and stuff like that, but then they probably had to limit it because obviously it would have been a multi-load and the sheer number of parts of this game and stuff like that. Keep it short, sweet and simple. But trust me, when you're playing this with a second player and there's that many bad guys on the screen and stuff like that, this is great. It does feel like you're playing the arcade machine. This is clearly why this is in this list. If you never grew up with the Spectrum, and more so, you never played this back in the day, after you played it in the arcade, you won't understand why this is a good port. I know I'm gushing like a fanboy now, but it is. Anyway, bottom right hand corner of the left hand side of the screen, that's a mouthful, now you can see I have magic, which space is your clear screen weapon, and it also is the only thing that can kill death. Death will just come after you, and then the minute he makes contact with you, he does not disappear, because you cannot kill him. You cannot kill what does not live, point to the quote. Yeah, until he zapped a specific amount of health off you. So he does, like, yeah, he does you some damage. And that is the only weapon in the game that can do him, if you will. Also, I have noticed in this game, and it's in the arcade and everything, but if you're really, really careful and try and get as much health as you can, essentially, it's still just a timer. It makes no real difference. I mean, alright, it goes down slow, but you know what I mean. This game is just about making money. It's a fun experience. It is a fine bar in English, but sure is no pool. Points for the quote. But, plus I love the way the colours scroll on the Gauntlet logo at the bottom. But, yeah, it's a good old-fashioned arcade exercise in making money. I think probably the best home port is the Mega Drive. Gauntlet 4 for sheer arcade accuracy. I know it's Gauntlet 4, but you know what I mean. This is what I'm trying to mean here, like, which is I'm just running around harvesting shit, particularly health. But you get penned in. Now, from what I remember, it's been years since I played this 2-player. Even if it's 2-player and all this stuff is going on the screen at once, it's no slowdown. But by all means, correct me on that. So I've got keys. Run. Apologies for the background noise. I do live on the busiest road in the West Country. I am getting treasure, but I don't know when or if it gives me an extra life. Also, I've been quite linear with the way I'm progressing. But that's in case it multi-loads, which will bite me in the ass. That's not the best choice of colours on the screen. But also, the reason it's like this, I guess, and it's not monochrome, is so there's a real distinction between the different types of enemies, because I forget what ones these are, but there's the ghost, which is the first one. They've got the wizards, which I haven't got to yet, but they will teleport. Then you've got the guys that throw shit over walls. So having, you know, attribute clash exists because you've got this many colours on screen at once. It's understandable. Yoink! What am I on? 1051. Should I use my magic? I think there's a screen around it somewhere. Death, right. Sorry, I took my fingers off the keyboard, and since I'm in a darkened room, mainly for atmosphere, I couldn't see where to put them back on. First world problems, kids. To me, I think the ghost is probably, because it's appeared on baseball caps, t-shirt, pixel art and stuff like that, one of the most iconic enemies in video game history. I've got to scratch my nose. Did it get away with it? Yes. I don't like firing as I'm running into the oblivion, or the unknown I should say, because we are now at the point where we need health. Yoink. Now obviously things were mixed up with the sequel, but we're not here to talk about that. Level design and stuff like that, but also, you know, gameplay mechanics. But I will always prefer this, I think, just because when my brother got it, and like I said, we played it in Minehead and later on in Westwood Ho, when my brother got it on the Spectrum, playing it, you know, 2-player with either one of my brothers, both on keyboard, it was just one of those experiences, you know, where you truly felt, and I'm sure, because the people always correct me on this and say, but no, it's nothing like the arcade. It's like a tribute band. Work within your limitations and know what you can achieve, because it's all about providing a feeling that is similar to the arcade, and the kid's brain will fill in the rest of the gaps. Then, you know, true arcade perfection, which was never going to happen on the Spectrum. So these are, yeah, alright, I forgot about the enemies to describe. Dragons, they spit, because they're filthy like that. No! Oh, it survived. How much does he... Is the different health give you different amounts? But it's like they don't really give you fuck all. Well, you could argue that's generally accurate to what cold fucking pork loin would give you if you eat it off a dungeon floor. Am I going in circles? I think I probably am. 488. There are no continues on this, are there? This could end in tears. Well, no, spoiler alerts, it's going to end in tears. Yoink! I should have probably hit some of the bigger level jumps, so you get more indication of what's coming up, including possibly a treasure room. But, I'm pretty sure, here we go, wizards. You're familiar with what Gauntlet is. I used a magic, or as I like to call a nuke, to get a nuke. So basically, I left the equation as I entered it. So, and the controls are super, super tight. I would have liked a bit more in the music department, but you know, what are you going to do? See, me trying to escape them just to get health, am I just taking more damage? Is it false economy, is what I'm saying. Death! And there you go, kids. That's how you kill death. Oh no! No, fuck it. I should probably get that actually, but I just want to get through as many levels as I can. Don't know why it paused then. I thought it was going to ask me to load. Oh man, 689. Oh! Don't sit around on your laurels like me then when you take in the screen and go, let's have a look at what's going on. Let's see what you could have won. Well, why aren't 500? Oh, I've got loads of keys. Oh, look at this! No, we don't want you. We don't need that. This is where you can see where I only exist as an arcade machine to put my kids through college mechanics kick in. Also, careful how you roll, because you can lose a lot of keys very quickly and not actually get anywhere. Get away! Shit! Hey! Screw you, buddy, eh? Oh man, like I said, if you've never played this on the Spectrum, give it a go, give it a whirl. It's fantastic. Well done, Gremlin Graphics. Well done indeed. Bit weird that you didn't make it yourselves through your own label, but obviously US Gold had more money than you, didn't they? Look at my fucking keys. I'm Timpson's. See what I did there? Oh, well, I forgot about that. It dumps your keys for someone else to grab. If you're playing it like, you know, well, in this case only 2 players, but obviously in the arcade. That was a cool element as well. There was a free-for-all and stuff like that. Plus, you could shoot your the other player, which, you know, would also ignite a rivalry and piss you off more often than not. But yeah, Gauntlet on the ZX Spectrum, one of the best arcade ports on the system, and that's why I had to put it in this revisited series of videos. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you played this back in the day on any of the micros, but particularly this. And what did you think? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.